Hello and welcome to Tech with Heart. I am your host, Michelle Calloway. Tech with Heart is all about empowering entrepreneurs to be successful online and stay competitive by embracing technologies, systems, and strategies that are given to us by our expert guests. And today's topic is cha-ching. We're talking about money, honey. It's all about the money flow. And we're specifically gearing this talk towards business women. But if you're a man and you're listening, I bet you know a business woman out there. So please tune in and pay attention to our very special guest. Her name is Dr. Barbara Provost, and she has 20 years of experience as an educational consultant to the banking and insurance industries. And now she's going to share with us why she's so passionately, purposefully reaching out and empowering and enlightening business women to thrive with the money, honey. So welcome to the Tech with Heart stage, Barbara.
Thank you so much for having me, Michelle. This is a topic that I could talk about all day long. Money.
Money is important. You need money to grow your business, but we're going to talk about that flow. So go ahead and first and foremost, share with us why you're so passionate about empowering and enlightening business women on this topic of money and obviously financial decision making.
Of course, yes. So many women have been overlooked by the financial industry. All the data points to it, and all the women feel it. That they have not been addressed by the financial professionals. They've been overlooked while sitting at the table. They haven't been asked, what is it that your concerns are? What is it that you want in your retirement? What is it that you want to help grow your business? They just haven't been addressed. They've been overlooked, unfortunately, and yet women are such a powerful market, a $23 trillion underserved market, looking to come into the greatest wealth transfer in history to the amount of $30 trillion. And when we talk about women business owners, 1,600 women every day are opening a business. So women are really opening more and more businesses. We've seen it with the Great Recession. They've left the workforce. They're not paying their time to the man anymore. They're starting their own thing, hanging out their own shingles. And they've realized they had something they want to do, which is start their own business. And many, many, many women are doing that every single day.
I know. I'm so excited to see women stepping up and stepping out. And now we just need to provide platforms in which they can excel on. And I know that's what you're all about. When I stepping into my purpose and my calling, while building Revealio and then stepping into leading the Tech with Heart initiative, I definitely felt like, whoa, I was kind of like the unusual, typical like tech founder. And I started realizing, I just need to carry myself a little bit differently because it is somewhat of a man's world still, but there's a huge shift that's been happening. So I'm excited for you to share. And did you yourself experience a struggle when it came to you getting some financial aid, or just the support, or even just the support around the ideas of making good financial decisions for your business? What was your story on that?
Yeah. So when I was launching Purse Strings, I found it very difficult to get any money. But you can't just say, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to go get some money. You have to really have your own skin in the game and put some of your own investment in it. Because if you're going to ask people to lend you money, you need to show them a viable product or service that they want to invest in as well. So before even asking for money, you have to ensure that you have something that's viable, that's going to be able to make money, and that you're going to be able to pay back any money that you are asking for. So yes, first of all, when you're looking for money to start a small business, you need to have your own skin in the game. And then the next step is, a lot of people ask friends and family, right? They go to their network, their circle, and they say, this is a business that I'm starting, and this is what I'm interested in doing. And you really have to start your pitch right there and then.
Yeah, I love the idea that you need to know what you need to know. You can't just be like, oh, nobody will give me any money because I'm a woman. No, you have to definitely have chops to be in business, period. If you want people to give up their money to support your dreams or your passion or your purpose. And obviously you want to be able to prove to them what the return on that investment could be. You have to know that there's this things called pitch decks, and there are people out there that will help you create a pitch deck if you are indeed looking for investors to invest, which means that they will own a portion of your company, or there are other ways of getting investors, but you still need to know why they should invest. Think about it from their perspective. If somebody came to you and said, hey, I have this great business idea, what do you think? Would you just cough up all your life savings? I don't think so. You'd probably ask them a lot of good questions. And we've actually done an episode in the past with an investor, and it was nice because he talked about the pitfalls to avoid when starting a business. So you can always check that out. But Barbara, I know you've created this whole purse strings company, and I do want people to know what it is that you're doing, because you provide a tremendous amount of valuable resources on that platform. But the driving factor was because women weren't getting that financial support. So speak to the development of your purse strings website.
I would love to. Thank you. So what I've realized as a consultant in the financial industry is that women were an overlooked market. I could see it in the linear sales process that was being presented with the intention just to sell a product. I could see it in the marketing materials that really didn't represent the women that were out there in society and the world. And I could see it with them not really looking women in the eye or addressing, what are your concerns? What is it that you want out of your financial future? I actually commissioned a researcher to really do the deep dive on the data to say, what is it that's happening in the world around women and their financial future? And it turned out that data and the studies revealed that women are an underserved market by financial institutions to the tune of a $23 trillion underserved market. And women don't really trust the financial industry because every time they had an engagement with them, they either were looked past, or they weren't answered their questions, or they just did not feel respected by them. So there's a big lack of trust, big gap there. So what Purse Strings does is we fill that gap. We provide women free tools and resources to help them make smart financial decisions. So education and knowledge and skill. But also what we do is we look across the industry for top tier financial professionals who love to serve the female market. And it's not everybody. Some people don't want to serve with women because they often will say to me, they ask too many questions. They take too long to make a decision. But I know through all my research why they are doing that, why women come to the table, and what they're thinking about when they're going to start making some financial investments or decisions. So we look for those top tier financial professionals who do want to work with women and provide that great list, that great directory to our women who come through our site to use our free tools and resources. And now they have a go-to directory of financial professionals who want to serve them.
So speak a little bit about, like, okay, so there's different financial needs that businesses have. Like, let's just talk, like, obviously we talked first and foremost about like the investment knowledge base, that you need to know what you need to know in order to go after investing funding. That's a different type of funding. And then there's like bank loans, there's all kinds of amazing resources. I know you have a lot to offer for when it comes to CFOs, which is the chief financial officer. Can
Yes.
you talk to us about some of the different resources that that a small business owner might be able to utilize from your platform that would help them with their monthly or day-to-day financial
Yes.
stuff?
So yeah, first thing is getting the money. So there's lots of different ways, like we just talked about, your own money, friends and family, some crowdsourcing. Maybe you do go to a bank, maybe you even get VC funding. But when that cash flow comes in, how do you manage that cash flow? That's really, really important, because too often we see where entrepreneurs might be commingling their own funds with their business funds, which is a big no-no. So how do you launch your business and set up your financials in a way that are business financials and they are accounted for, and you have accounting and you have reporting on a monthly basis, and you know what your spend is and you know what your cash flow is? Because if you're, for instance, a designer of fashionable clothing, your expertise may not be on the finance part. And we had talked about this. Finances is not everybody's area of expertise, even if you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business. It might be the furthest thing from your mind. So what you want to do is get those experts who love the numbers, who love to working with cash flow, who love to create those financial reports and make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and tell you and educate you and inform you how your business is running. So that would be a bookkeeper maybe, or an accountant, or what types of accountant, maybe a CPA, maybe a tax accountant. So depending on the business that you have, the size you are, where you're located, the type of business that you do, all of these come into considerations, and you need those financial experts in your court so that you can start out on the right foot.
You really do, because you can't be the master of all things. And starting a business, you're often wearing many of the hats, because you could be a solopreneur, for instance, but that doesn't mean that you, as a solopreneur, don't need all these other positions filled in your company. You really, really do. And so the nice thing, and this is the main reason why I started Tech with Heart, by the way, is that I heard from small business owners that technology was one of the biggest pain points that they had. But it's not just technology, it's who should they be listening to? Who can they trust him, like guide them in the right path with the right technology at the right time, where their business is at and what their business needs, and who's just blowing smoke, and who if I actually were to go and embrace them and work with them, who do I trust? And so that is a part of why Tech with Heart is a network as well of vetted, heart-centered professionals in their area of expertise. And it's not just around finance, but the neat thing is that there's even more technologies out there these days that are using like, what do they call it? I'm so sorry, I just kind of had a brain fart, but it's like not AI, it's machine learning. And so what they do is they kind of utilize that technology to learn about your financial systems, and then it can start projecting what you might want to do to avoid this pitfall in the near future, which is so beautiful. Because if you can see that, I'm a visual person, so if I could see that as a roadmap, like, oh, I need to make this shift here so that I don't hit that iceberg down there, you know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a lot of really great stuff out there, and I'm so glad that you've created this platform and this go-to resource. And obviously women should know that this is a good place where they can go and find those trusted, vetted resources that will indeed have their business's best interest at heart. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Just like you were saying, comparing technology and business funding or business cash flow. If, like, again, if you're a designer, your technology should not be your hat that you're wearing most of the time. Your cash flow should not be your hat. It should be on your design. So these organizations help women get through the noise and just go direct to the sources that are going to have those vetted professionals who are going to help them in those areas that they need for their business, but that they don't want to focus on all day long, right? Because they want to do what they really want to do. They don't want to focus on these components, but these components are so important to the success of a business. And if they don't focus on them, you know, the stats are great that women businesses, any business, can go out of business far too soon because they don't have these components in check with the right experts on their team.
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you could use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of Revealio Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at revealio.com, and together we will make your business come alive.
I know technology, let's go back to technology for a second. In the era that we're in, all businesses should be able to thrive because of technology. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I get excited. And a lot of times you'll see on the Tech with Heart side of things that I do promote a lot of marketing technology kind of concepts, because when you have a business, you could have a storefront, and that's great. And you can definitely get recognized for free by Google in your local area and be served up to them. It's like free to do these things. I'm like, you guys all need to know how to do these things. And I'm actively talking about it. But there's also like so many different online systems that you can use to make the buyer's journey, like the point of awareness, moving to like point of influence, to the point of decision making, and then cha-ching. That's what we're talking about, this flow of money. And so it is so important to know enough about these things that you can make educated decisions. So it is good to learn some of it so that you can speak to somebody else intelligently about it. Like if your gift is not marketing, then perhaps it is good for you to go ahead and invest in having somebody help you with your marketing, because that's going to be streaming that flow of leads into the online sales mechanisms, which hopefully, if it's a low-hanging fruit offer, which they call it, that's what they call it in the marketing space. But basically what it means is that you are offering something that, value, that the price matches the value, and it's a no-brainer opportunity. So things just happen and sales just happen online. Cha-ching. Right. So I know you want to talk about the flow of money too, because beyond obviously the resources with getting an accountant, CPA, or even getting investment monies, it's all about keeping that flow going. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you would like to see more women do with that money that they do acquire?
Yeah. So first of all, women, they don't pay themselves. So often they flow their money back into their business, but we deserve to get paid. So as the money comes in, we need to pay ourselves as well as invest in our own retirement savings and make sure that we have our own emergency fund set up and that we are well protected, because if we're not protected, how can we be the best business owner, the best entrepreneur out there, and the best success? We need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves first. So pay yourself first, make sure you're saving for your own retirement, make sure you have your emergency fund set up, and make sure that you are very close to your cash flow and to your financials. You don't have to be in it every single day, but you have to have those right professionals who are educating you, working with you, giving you insights, giving you input, and knowing how you can invest your money and how you can make the best financial decisions with your team. Like you said, with technology, you don't have to know how the light switch is built, but you need to know that if you flip it one way, this is what's going to happen. If you flip it the other, this is what's going to happen. And that's the impact to it. So we all, as business owners, we all have to know about every component of our business, but we really need to know we have those vetted professionals who are on our team. They're going to help us be successful as well.
So let's talk about some of the things to look for when you decide to make an investment for your business. I know we're going to talk about the flow. You and I spoke about how it's important for, once you get the money, you don't just hang on to the money just to have money in the bank. And in order to grow your business, usually you have to kind of, get that money flowing, but you want that return, and you want the return to be bigger than your outflow. So can you talk to us about some of the things that you see business owners needing to think about or invest in? I don't know how you want to take this, but it's about keeping that flow going beyond just, you said, the investments, taking their money and paying themselves, perhaps building a portfolio if that is what they would like to do, meaning getting your money to make money for you outside of your business. But what about in your business?
It's interesting. I think every business has its own culture, has its own focus. I know at Purse Strings, we also do a benefit. So for every Purse Strings approval that we onboard, we give a donation to an EB fund, which is a fund that's close to our heart. So we're flowing the money out, not just keeping it for ourselves, but we're also giving it to a community that really needs funding, and it's near and dear to our heart. So women love to see that as well. They love to see that money isn't just going right to the organization, but it's being flown to help other charities as well. And also, how do we invest in our own employees? How do we make an investment in them and make them happy in the work that they do? How do our employees come together, and how do we keep them educated, interested, growing, and learning? So that's another way to flow your money in through your organization as well. And, there are other opportunities in terms of what kind of investments are we investing our money in, because many investments are like, socially responsible investments. So we're making educated choices in that way, and not just throwing it into the market, but really looking at are my investments that our company is making really also working hard for us beyond our company and really being invested in what we're socially responsible and interested in as well?
That social responsibility is starting to really climb the charts as far as one of the most important things when it comes to what you choose to spend your money on. I know Tech with Heart Foundation is the mission is to empower entrepreneurs to be competitive by embracing technology. And one of the things that we're very excited about in conjunction with that social impact, that culture that you're talking about, that's so important for you to know who you are and what you're all about and what you support and what is your main mission here on this earth, right? So Tech with Heart is starting to empower businesses to be able to acquire $120,000 a year of free ad spend simply to provide valuable knowledge and information that serves some form of a social impact, like just empowering others and having that social cause behind it is what is going to get this free advertising money. So we're so super excited because that's basically using other people's money to grow your business, and you're just simply providing the value. I love that.
Yeah. And there's that flow again, right? There's that flow of money right there.
Absolutely. And so, if you are interested in learning more about that, techwithheartfoundation.org/ad grant that you can actually go and look and watch and learn all about it. It's quite brilliant. I love the idea that we can actually leverage other people's money to grow our business. Do you have any other tips about how you can leverage other people's money? Obviously, there's investors, right?
Yeah. And we haven't really touched too much on the VC funding. So the VC funding is a way of leveraging other people's money to help you grow your business. And then when you become successful, because many of these VC funds now are women owned and women led, those who have become successful, they're flowing their money to other women entrepreneurs who are also trying to get out there and grow their business and be successful. So again, that flow of, women helping women, successful businesses helping other businesses and pulling them up and funding them so that they can grow their business and do well by the rest of the world.
There's absolutely a whole movement right now in the VC space, women VCs stepping up to empower and support other women-owned businesses. Of course, you still need to know your stuff. You need to have the chops to prove that you're actually going to be a viable investment. And also just wanted to mention that if you are a women-owned business, that with the state and with the federal government, you can apply for a special set-aside type business where certain large corporations in America, they have that conscious, they want to socially give back. And so they have the things called set-asides in which they are obligated every year to provide small businesses that are set aside as a women-owned business, minority-owned business, that they would give them a little more leverage to be able to acquire some of these bigger corporate or even governmental type bids. So that is another thing that you can look into as a women-owned business. This has been fantastic. So Barbara, where can people go and learn more about your basically, you've created an entire network of vetted professionals in the financial side and helping women-owned businesses make better financial decisions. Where can they go to learn more about what you're offering?
Sure. Go to purstrings.co. So it's www.purstrings.co. That's our website. We're on all the social media channels under purstrings.co. We're on Instagram, Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on Facebook. So, and even Pinterest. So you can find us there as well. But Pinterest.co is our main website. And we also have our own podcast called Women in Money, the shit we don't talk about. And that's a great podcast that really gets out there and unveils so many important things that women need to know about their money.
Fantastic. And so what is one thought or phrase that you would really like to leave impression upon anybody that's tuning in today?
Well, our go-to phrase is be financially fearless. And what that means to us is don't be afraid of money. Money is just a tool. Once you learn how it works, it can be very freeing and very empowering. So step into your power by learning about money and how it works.
I'm also going to leave a thought too, that we might want to take the approach of, if we come into our business environment with our fists closed, meaning we're wanting to hold on so tightly to what we do have. Maybe we didn't get a ton of funding, and so we're just like, white knuckling it, just trying to figure out how to grow without spending. Then just realize that there's so many more blessings coming your way if you're able to receive them, and you can't receive them with closed fists. You need to open your fists. And again, stay empowered, stay enlightened, hang out with people like Dr. Barbara, hang out with the Tech with Heart Network. And with that said, if you are an entrepreneur and you're listening to this podcast and you really want to learn how to grow your business alongside other heart-centered but yet innovative out-of-the-box thinkers, then please check us out, techwithheartnetwork.com. This is a nonprofit initiative. We're really all about using technology in a way that it enhances and brings people together, but grow our business and stay competitive and relevant. And if you're a business expert and you believe that your insights could really shift the mindset or strategies for business owners online in today's online digital landscape, please go to techwithheartnetwork.com. We want to hear from you. Maybe you'd be a great fit for the Tech with Heart show. Anyway, here is to your success.